End Times and the Secret of the Mahdi by Dr. Michael Youssef, Ph.D. The Reign and Fall of the Antichrist. The Reconstructed Temple in Jerusalem. As you study the 7-year period of the Great Tribulation, you find that the prophecies of Daniel, Jesus, and the book of Revelation are absolutely consistent. They all refer to the reconstructed temple in Jerusalem. The prophecy of the reconstructed temple is implied yet undeniable. The angel Gabriel tells Daniel that enemies will destroy the city and the sanctuary, 9:26. Yet just a few sentences later he says, "At the temple, the Antichrist will set up an abomination that causes desolation," verse 27. Similarly, Jesus tells his disciples that the temple will be destroyed, Matthew 24:2. Then he too tells them that the Antichrist will set up the abomination of desolation in the temple, verse 15. So, according to some interpretations of Scripture, the temple must be rebuilt. In Revelation 11:1, God tells John to take a measuring rod and measure the temple. Some Bible scholars think this refers to a literal temple in Jerusalem, but no Jewish temple has stood on the Temple Mount in Jerusalem since the destruction of the Second Temple by the Romans in AD 70. The first temple was Solomon's temple, which was destroyed by the Babylonians. What stands on the Temple Mount today? 2 Islamic edifices, the Al-Aqsa Mosque, the third holiest site in Islam, and the Dome of the Rock, the golden-capped shrine that is one of Jerusalem's most famous landmarks. The Temple Mount is a sacred site to Jews, Muslims, and Christians. Muslims call the walled compound atop the mount the noble sanctuary. In that compound, the Muslims built the Al-Aqsa Mosque in 705. It has been destroyed and rebuilt several times. Muslims built the Dome of the Rock in 691, constructing the shrine around the foundation stone, which the Jews believe was the site of the Holy of Holies of the Second Temple, and the very spot where Abraham bound Isaac to sacrifice him. When both Jews and Muslims claim one rock as their holy site, there will be trouble. After the Muslim warrior Saladin defeated the Crusaders and recaptured Israel in 1187, the Muslims banned all non-Muslim prayer on the Temple Mount, a ban that is enforced to this day. Lately, growing numbers of Orthodox Jews visit the Temple Mount, walking barefoot on the stones as a sign of respect to God, and praying under their breath in defiance of Muslim law. If they are caught praying, they are forcibly removed from the site. Meanwhile, Jews are demanding the freedom to pray alongside Muslims on the Temple Mount. Some are laying plans and raising funds for a new temple, crafting ritual utensils of gold and silver, and hand-stitching priestly vestments. Israeli cattle breeders hope to produce an unblemished red heifer, a young cow that has never calved and is red from nose to tail, to be sacrificed in accordance with God's command in Numbers 19:2. This is a requirement of the law that the Lord has commanded. Tell the Israelites to bring you a red heifer without defect or blemish, and that has never been under a yoke. An unblemished red heifer has not been seen in Israel in nearly 2,000 years, but many Israelis hope to sacrifice a red heifer as part of the restored temple worship. Ever since the Israelis captured the old city of Jerusalem during the Six-Day War in 1967, the Temple Mount has been the most fiercely disputed piece of real estate in the world. In 1990, a group of Israelis attempted to lay a cornerstone for a new Jewish temple, and rioting broke out, killing 22 Palestinians. In 2000, Israeli leader Ariel Sharon visited the Temple Mount, and a violent uprising broke out. Over 5 years, that uprising, the Second Intifada, killed 3,000 Palestinians and 1,000 Israelis. Muslims living in Israel are angry about Jewish plans to build a third temple where the Dome of the Rock now stands. Muhammad Ahmed Hussein, the Grand Mufti of Jerusalem's Muslim community, said, "No one but Muslims are allowed to perform any kind of prayers at Al-Aqsa, meaning the entire Al-Aqsa compound. Jewish prayer at Al-Aqsa is an aggression." Meanwhile, Yehuda Glick, an American-born rabbi who leads Israel's Temple Mount Heritage Foundation, has vowed the third temple, which will be a house of prayer for all nations, will be built very soon. At Jerusalem's Shalem College, hundreds of Jewish students study the ancient rituals of sacrifice and laws of Passover. They wear priestly vestments, slaughter sacrificial lambs, and sprinkle blood on the altar. They are practicing to perform these rituals in the future temple. The director of the program, Rabbi Yehoshua Friedman, anticipates a fully operating temple where hundreds of priests will carry out the ancient temple sacrifices. Only one problem stands in the way: the Dome of the Rock, which currently occupies that site. One person involved in the temple rebuilding effort put it this way: if not for the problem of the Dome of the Rock, they would build the temple today. The prophecies of Daniel and Jesus in Revelation make it clear that a third temple will be built, and it is equally clear that the third temple cannot be built without enraging the Muslim world.